Hello and welcome to a new video on IGCSE Mathematics. In this video, we shall be discussing compound interest and growth and decay. This is part 2. You should have watched part 1 before attempting to watch this video. We shall be dealing now with finding the initial amount. Chris invested some money at the rate of 5% per year, compound interest. After 2 years, the value of this investment is 286.65. Calculate how much Chris invested. So the formula for compound interest is F equals P times 1 plus R to the power of N. Here we want how much he invested. So here we're looking for the value of P, given that the future value after 2 years is 286.65. So this is equal to P multiplied by 1 plus 5 over 100 to the power of 2. So 286.65 equals P times 1.05 to the power of 2. 1.05 to the power of 2 is 1.1025. So this is 1.1025. We divide both sides by 1.1025. And the final answer would be 286.65 divided by 1.1025. And this is 260. So P equals $260. 260 is the correct answer. The value of a gold ring increases exponentially at the rate of 5%. The value is now 882. Calculate the value of the ring 2 years ago. So again, we want 2 years ago. So we want the old amount, the present value. So F equals P times 1 plus R power N. F is 882. P is unknown. 1 plus R. R is 5 over 100 to the power of 2. So again, this here is 1.05 to the power of 2. And we can divide both sides by this number. So 1.05 power 2 is 1.1025. So we divide both sides by the same number, which is 1.1025. These will cancel out, and you get 882 divided by 1.1025 equals 800. So 800 equals P. And 800 is the correct answer here. Belinda bought a car 1 year ago. The value of this car has decreased by 15% to 14,025. Calculate how much she paid for the car. So again, this is a percentage increase over a number of years. Actually, here it's 1 year only. However, I will show you how to solve this in 2 different ways using 2 different concepts. So one way you can do is using F equals P times 1 plus R power N. However, it's not plus here. It's going to be minus because it's decreasing. We want the present value, given that the future value after the decrease is 14,025. So 14,025 equals P times 1 minus R, which is 1 minus 15 over 100 to the power of N, and N here is just 1. So this here is 0.85 power 1, which is still 0.85. And you can just divide by 0.85 on both sides. These will cancel out, and you get 14025 divided by 0.85. And P equals 16,500. Now, only because here it is 1 year ago, so we can actually use OCN to solve this as well. So OCN R and percent. So old percent is 100. We want the old value, the original value. The new value is 14025. It decreased by 15, so this is 85. And we can use cross multiplication. So 85x equals 100 times 14025. Divide by 85 on both sides. These will cancel out. And now you have something to calculate using the calculator. 100 times 14025 divided by 85. This is 16,500 again. So either way, you get 16,500 at the end. However, you can only use the OCN table if it's 1 year. If it's more than 1 year, we have to use the formula that we started with. This technique works for whatever number of years, but the OCN only works for 1 year or one change to begin with. So 16,500 is correct. Next, we move on to problems that require finding the interest or the rate of change. So Manuela also invests $640. At the end of 4 years, he has $721. Find the yearly compound interest rate. F equals P times 1 plus R to the power of N. So he invests 640, so this is the present value, and he gets 721, so this is the future value. And you have here 1 plus R to the power of the number of years, which is 4 years. So you want to find R. We begin first by dividing by 640 on both sides. These will cancel out. So 721 divided 640 gives us 1.1265 or 1.1266. This is 1 plus R to the power of 4. Now, to get rid of the power, we multiply by the reciprocal of it, 1 over 4. So the power is now 1 over 4, but we have to implement this on both sides. These will cancel out, and we get 1 plus R equals 1.1266 to the power of 1 divided by 4. This is 1.0302. Now we subtract 1. You take the 1 to the other side, becomes minus 1. So R is 0.0302. We multiply by 100 to get it as a percent. So 3.02%, or you can even write it as 3%. However, they require here 3.02, so let's not round it too much. Let's just keep it at 3.02%. The number of newspapers sold decreases exponentially by X each year. Over a period of 21 years, the number of newspapers sold decreases from so and so to so and so. Calculate the value of X. So again, this here is the present value, this here is the future value. F equals P times 1 plus R to the power of N. So the future value is 58,000. The present value is 1,763,000 times 1 plus R, 1 plus X over 100 to the power of N. Excuse me. So N here is 21. Now, we want to solve for X, so we divide both sides by 58,000. I made a mistake, I apologize. We divide both sides by the number next to the X. So we're dividing by 1763000 on both sides. So these will cancel out. This is the whole point. And we can cancel the zeros together to make life simpler. So 58 divided by 1763. This is 0.03289. 0.03, excuse me, 0.03, yes, 2, and then 898, let's just write a long decimal here, equals 1 plus X over 100, power 21. To get rid of the power, we need to raise them both to the reciprocal power. So power 1 over 21 on both sides. These will cancel out. On the calculator, just raise your answer to the power of 1 divided by 21, and you get 0.8499, so 0.85 is fine. This is equal to 1 plus x over 100. Okay, so I made a very small mistake and it would have ruined the whole problem, but it's easy to just fix it right now. My mistake was that I did not read carefully. It is a decreasing problem, not an increasing problem. The only change here is that instead of plus, we have minus, and this works here and here as well. We still haven't touched the bracket, so we can just change the sign without affecting the answer. So this is here minus, because otherwise x would have been negative, which would have been okay, but so that you understand better, let's just put negative here. Now we want to get the value of x, so we can send this to the other side and bring this here. And we get 1 minus 0.85 on the right, and positive x over 100 over the left. This is equal to 0.15. We multiply by 100 on both sides. These will cancel out. And 100 here as well. So 0.15 times 100 is 15%. 15% is the correct answer here. A bacteria population increases exponentially at a rate of R% each day. After 32 days, the population has increased by 309%. Find the value of R. So we have F equals P times 1 plus R to the power of N. We are not given here the value of F or the value of P. However, we are given that it has increased by 309%. If you do OCN here, you have R, you have percent. So the percent here is 100. It has increased by 309%. So the final is 409. And you have here, the old is P and the new is F, of course. You can cross multiply to get a relationship between P and F. So 409P equals 100F. You can divide both sides by 409, for example. Or let's actually divide by 100 just to get the F on its own. That's nicer. So let's divide by 100 on both sides. These will cancel out. So you get at the end 4.09P equals F. Now you have a relationship between F and P. You can plug it into the old equation. So 4.09P equals P times 1 plus R to the power of 32. Now we can divide by P on both sides. These will cancel out and these will cancel out. And then we can raise to the power of 1 over 32. Because then this will cancel out as well. And we are left with 4.09 to the power of 1 divided 32, which is 1.045. This is equal to 1 plus R. So R equals 0.045 multiplied by 100 to get a percent. So R equals 4.5%. 4.5 is the correct answer here. Over a period of 3 years, the company's sales of biscuits increased from 15.6 million packets to 20.8 million packets. The sales increased exponentially by the same percentage each year. Calculate the percentage increase each year. So the idea here is that you want the interest rate in a sense. So you have a present value of 15.6 and a future value of 20.8. Let's plug them into the formula. Future value is 20.8. Present value is 15.6 times 1 plus R, which we don't know, to the power of N, which is 3. We can divide both sides by 15.6. These will cancel out. 20.8 divided 15.6 gives us 1.333. So 1.3333 equals 1 plus r to the power of 3. Raise both sides to the power of 1 over 3. These will cancel out. And then on the left-hand side, now you have 1.1006 equals 1 plus r. Take the 1 to the other side and subtract. So r equals 0.1006. If we move the decimal 2 places, we get 10.06%. So 10.1 or 10.06, these are correct answers. Excuse me. Hans invested $550 at the rate of X%. At the end of 10 years, he has 638. Correct to the nearest cent. Find the value of X. So we write the formula down again. F equals P times 1 plus R to the power of N. 638.3 equals 550 times 1 plus X over 100 to the power of N. So either you write X or X over 100. You can just not write over 100, but at the end you remember to move the decimal 2 places to the right. That will work as well. You can divide by 550 on both sides. And of course, N here is 10 because they said 10 years. These will cancel out. So you have 638.3 divided by 550, which is 1.1605. And this is equal to 1 plus X to the power of 10. Now we raise both sides to the power of 1 over 10. These will cancel out. 1.1605 to the power of 1 over 10 gives us 1.015. 000, so we can just ignore that. And this is 1 plus X. You take the 1 to the other side. You get 0.015 equals X. Move it 2 decimals to the right. You get 1.5%. This is the correct answer as well. So this is slightly different. We have a graph now. We were told when Heidi was born, her grandfather invested some money in an account that paid compound interest. The graph shows the exponential growth of his investment. Use the graph to find the original amount of money invested. So the original amount was when the number of years was 0, which is this value here, which is 20. So this is $20. The number of years it took for the original amount to double. So to double, we reached 40. 40 corresponds to 14 years. So we have here 14 years. The value of the investment after 54 years. So 54 years is between 52 and 56. We want to find the value of the investment. So we want to figure out what this value is. So $280. This account earned compound interest at a rate of R%. Use your answers to AI and AII to write an equation in terms of R. You do not have to solve your equation. So the equation is F equals P times 1 plus R to the power of N. And the present value is 20. And the future value is the double, which is 40. So 40 equals 20 times 1 plus R to the power of 2, because it took, excuse me, to the power of 14. Because it took here 14 years. So 40 equals 20 times 1 plus R to the power of 14. You can simplify by dividing by 20 on both sides. You don't have to solve it, but you can just simplify initially. It becomes 2 equals 1 plus R to the power of 14. So you have 20 and 14 and 280. These are correct. And then 40 equals 20 times 1 plus r over 100 to the power of 14. I forgot to write over 100 here. I should have done that because they said r%. So I should have put in over 100. So this is the correct answer here now. The value today of the other car is $15,000. The value of this car increases exponentially by X%. After 12 years, the value would be 42,190. Calculate the value of X. So F equals P times 1 plus R to the power of N. F is $42,190, and this is equal to P, which is 15,000, times 1 plus R. R here is just X to the power of N, and N is 12 years. So we divide both sides by 15,000. These will cancel out, and we have 42190 divided by 15000. So this is 2.813 equals 1 plus X power 12. You can raise both of them to the power of 1 over 12. These will cancel out. So 2.813 power 1 over 12. This gives us 1.0900. So 1.09 equals 1 plus X. We subtract the 1, so 0.09 equals X. Multiply by 100 to get the percent, so 9%. 9% is the correct answer here. Edna invests 500 at a rate of R. At the end of 6 years, her value is 559.78. Find the value of R. So this is the same idea again. F equals P times 1 plus R to the power of N. So F is 559.78, and this is equal to P, which is 500, times 1 plus R to the power of 6. You can divide both sides by 500 here. So you get, these cancel out, and you get 559.78 divided by 500, which is 1.11956. And this is equal to 1 plus R to the power of 6. Now we can raise to the reciprocal power, 1 over 6 and 1 over 6. So 1.11956 power 1 over 6. This is 1.019. And this is equal to 1 plus R, because these cancel out. We subtract 1, so R is 0.019. We can multiply by 100, and we get 1.9% as a final answer. And this here is correct. For the final question, we have a population, and it's decreasing exponentially at a rate of R%. And we have the population after 22 years, and we want to find the value of R. So F equals P times 1 minus R to the power of N, because it's decreasing. So the initial population is 6,400. So this here is 6,400. The final population is 2,607. And we have 1 minus R to the power of 22. We divide both sides by 6,400. These will cancel out. So 2,607 divided by 6,400. This gives us 0.4733. And this is equal to 1 minus R to the power of 22. We raise our power to 1 over the power, so 1 over 22 on both sides. So 0.4073 to the power of 1 over 22 gives us 0.95999, which is basically 0.96. 1 minus r here because these cancel out. So we can flip the position of r at the 0.96. So it becomes positive r equals 1 minus 0.96. So r is 0.04. So r is 4%. This is the correct answer here. And this brings us to the end of our video. I hope this has been beneficial. Thank you for watching.